Hi, I'm Kathryn Hutto, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be considered for the North Carolina Teaching Fellows Program. I live in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, and attend Northeastern High School, where I'm a senior. I'm also dually enrolled at the College of the Albemarle, which is a community college here. My hobbies include playing soccer, swimming, and baking. My aunt and I even trade cookies for boiled peanuts at every Christmas party. I volunteered at my local hospital for the past 4 years, and this past summer I've worked at the Y as a summer camp counselor aide. I absolutely love math. I've even tutored my peers in math in preparation for tests. This year, I've had the opportunity to learn more about teaching through a teaching cadets class my school offers. In the spring, I'll even get to do an internship at the local middle school, which I'm very excited about. Lastly, I'm a member of the National Honor Society and the student board member for my school, which involves going to district board meetings and informing the community of my school's happenings. Question 1. Describe yourself in 3 words and why you picked those words. I'd say I'm inquisitive, collaborative, and diligent. I'm inquisitive because I'm always excited to learn new things and seek out opportunities for personal growth. I also love talking to new people to hear diverse perspectives. This inquisitiveness will help me model a love for learning in the classroom. I chose the word collaborative because I work well with others and love being part of a team. Being able to collaborate with colleagues and parents will benefit me as a teacher. I'm diligent because I don't give up on anything I'm working towards, and I always want to make sure it's the best I can do. For example, as a freshman, I tried out for my school soccer team, and during tryouts I absolutely hated it. However, with a bit of pressure from my friends, I came back. There was a lot of stress being on a team sport because we all had to depend on each other, but I persevered and learned many valuable life skills. In teaching, if students are struggling, diligence will help me to work on finding new approaches. Question 2. Tell us about the accomplishment of which you're most proud and how you achieved it. I'm most proud of becoming a student school board member for my high school. I first learned about the application from my math teacher, who thought it would be a good role for me. The application process involved writing an essay and submitting 3 letters of recommendation. In the summer, I also had an in-person interview. I looked up job interview questions for weeks trying to prepare. When I showed up, I found out I had to speak in front of an entire panel into a microphone, which I'd never done before. As someone who's a bit afraid of public speaking, it was terrifying. I finished the interview after just 5 minutes and was happy I tried, but very sure I hadn't gotten the position. However, that night, my parents called me down and told me I had been elected. I was proud of myself for branching out and excited to have the opportunity to practice public speaking while attending the meetings. Question 3. What can and should a teacher do to foster understanding of people who are from different backgrounds and mindsets? First of all, teachers should make an effort to get to know their students. This includes learning about not just their backgrounds, but also their personalities to form personal connections. Teachers must also examine their implicit biases to determine if they are impacting their teaching. By working on fixing their own preconceived notions first, educators can go into the classroom with a better mindset to value diversity. It's also important teachers help students understand each other's background by diversifying the curriculum. Learning about diversity helps students build empathy and allows everyone to be represented in the classroom. Question 4. What do you think it means to be a professional as a teacher in the classroom? It's the most important that teachers are always kind and receptive to questions. It's important to show students that the classroom is a place for learning and they're taken seriously. Teachers should also practice proper ethics. For instance, no student should be called out or treated differently based on their backgrounds or grades. In other words, you have to be equitable. While students should not fear their teachers, educators do need to keep in mind they should be mentors, not friends. This includes ensuring students are learning or doing work during class time and managing time effectively. Lastly, teachers need to follow their school's policies and procedures. Question 5. Think of your favorite teacher you have had during your time as a student. What characteristics did they display that made them your favorite, and how will you try to emulate them in your classroom? My favorite teacher was Mrs. Gray, my math teacher during 10th and 11th grade. She helped build my love for math and was constantly encouraging all her students to do the best they could. I remember her as being very calm. She expressed that one mistake is not the end of the world. She also took time during lectures to go through each step and stop for any questions we might have had. She not only dedicated time to her students during class, but also celebrated their extracurriculars by attending award ceremonies and sports competitions. In conclusion, she was an all-around great teacher. There are many of her actions that I hope to mirror. For one, I want my class to be a calming and not a stressful environment. I hope kids know it is a safe space to ask any questions and not feel embarrassed. I do this by emphasizing that mistakes are an opportunity to learn. To build better relationships with students, I'll also try to attend events that celebrate their achievements and look for ways to make them feel value. I'll focus on formative assessments, ensuring students are learning the material before moving ahead, and if they're not, look for alternative teaching methods. These are just some of the ways that I plan to make math feel more accessible for all students. Another one from question 5. Imagine that you are retiring after 30 years of teaching. What do you hope your students would say about your legacy? If I was retiring, I'd ultimately hope students will remember my patience and work to make everyone feel welcome. Since learning the material is a goal of utmost importance, providing patience and acceptance creates the atmosphere needed to achieve that goal. I also hope students would say the work was not easy, but the class felt easy because it was fun. When thinking back on what I and most students have said about teachers, the common responses were, it's hard because the teacher made it boring, or it's definitely a lot of work, but the teacher explains it so well, it's kind of easy. I aspire to be one of the teachers who makes a boring or hard subject more enjoyable for everyone. The largest goal I have for my legacy would be my students remembering my high expectations for them, that I pushed them to take steps towards achieving their goals, even if they weren't math related, and I truly believed every student could do what they put their mind to. I hope my students would say that I made math easier and made it easier for them to go out into the world on their own. Question 6. What excites you most about becoming a teacher, and what makes you a fantastic candidate for the program? The most exciting part for me is getting to share my love for math and see it click for students. I believe that if a teacher is excited to teach, it can lead to students who are excited to learn. I'm excited to have a classroom family who's willing to help each other out with difficult assignments or simply ask how each other's weekends went. I'm a fantastic candidate for the Teaching Fellows program because I'm dedicated to becoming a teacher and hope to meet like-minded individuals. I ensure I work towards anything I attempt and don't give up on my goals. I also strive to maintain a positive attitude in everything I do, and I believe I can contribute new ideas to the teaching profession. Thank you for your consideration for this opportunity.